Legionnaires of the Lariat, welcome back for another episode of I Still Call the Lariat. What's up? We're here today to review Money in the Bank 2025, a full 5-match card with 11 billion people. I have with me, as always, my tag team partner, Steve Zapf. Steve Zapf, what's up?
What's up? I mean, could you be happier?
I don't know what you're talking about. We haven't gotten there yet.
That's true. We have not gotten there, but Money in the Bank, huh? Money in the Bank was a card. It was the thing that happened.
It was good. It definitely wasn't the best Money in the Bank I've ever seen. It definitely wasn't the worst Money in the Bank I've ever seen. Kind of predictable. Some highlights, some real highlights that I really like it towards the end of this. But I think overall, it's exactly what we predicted, to be honest with you. The women's Money in the Bank match, though there was a tremendous amount of Jamokin. That I think was better than the men's match, maybe the men's match was actually a little bit better, but there was very low intensity in this of not the physicality, but the drama of what was going to happen is what I mean.
And I've heard that Triple H is not a fan of this pay-per-view in general. PLE.
I've heard of it as well. I don't know why. It's a great stipulation. I think
I don't think it's the match
wrong.
He's not a fan of. I think it's the fact that there's an entire show based around it. Like, I think he wants this to just be a match that he puts on a card somewhere, rather than an entire pay-per-view based around it. Like, putting this back onto... I don't know. But I know originally when they were doing this, it was just a match on WrestleMania, and I think he kind of wants to go back to that. Maybe do like women's one night, men's the next night, and then like
there's always some kind of crazy ladder match anyway on Mania. I can see that is a little bit different, and not opposed to it either. But Royal Rumble, there's tons of these pay-per-views out there.
Chamber.
They all get surrounding these. Maybe you should add Elimination Chamber and Women's Money in the Bank, and then switch it later. So you got one of the up either side of it.
I like it.
Money in the Chamber.
Money in the Chamber. There it
is.
Elimination
Bank.
That's just called the IRS.
Could be anything. But Stephen, overall, what'd you think? What'd you think about this card? You kind of got my POV there.
So I really liked the last minute match, the Dominic versus Octagon match. I was very much a fan of this. I thought the two Money in the Bank matches, they were both good. Again, there wasn't a whole lot of drama around them. I thought there could have been more. And we'll get into the main event when we get to the main event.
Cool. Let's start with the women's Money in the Bank match. We had Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley, Julia, Naomi, and Stephanie Vaquer, which one day I will figure out how to say her last name.
I think that's correct, actually.
It's a hard name for my mouth to pronounce. We had a pretty solid Money in the Bank with these women. I will say, of all of the matches, I'm usually gushing over these matches for the women. I'm always saying that it was way better than the men's match. Particularly, Elimination Chamber recently has been way better than the men's versions of it in recent history, in my opinion. This one, there was just so much Jamokin. There was 6 people in this match, but only 2 could be wrestling at any given time.
At any given time. And, I'm a little... I don't know how I feel, because this is almost the anti-WWE thing. But putting Stephanie Vaquer in 3 matches in, 36 hours, not even in, 20 hours, realistically, that just seems like a terrible idea.
Yeah?
I mean, and 3 matches...
people had to do that.
Yeah, and 3 matches in that of that caliber. You know, like she wrestled in a tag team match on SmackDown, then wrestled in a physical tag team match at Worlds Collide, and then like 3 hours later wrestled this Money in the Bank match.
She's a powerhouse.
I mean, she might have still been my favorite part of this match.
She was great. I thought all of the participants, when they were in the ring, were fantastic. They all had their spots. They all had a good time. Even Rhea getting buried by ladders, even though it meant her jamoking for a little bit too long for my liking, was a fun spot. But it killed. I'm like watching it. I'm like, where is the other 4 people? Like, what happened to them that they are all gone from this match at this moment in time? Everyone had their moments. There's a couple too many choreographed same time spots in this match for my liking as well. That kind of just goes to show without them talking to each other. It's a difference when they're like, you and me, we'll do this thing and then we'll get it done. Then there's communication, and then like you kind of know what's happening. It's not as, all right, here's the time for the dual spot. That loses me a little bit.
The double code red, and there was a couple other ones like that too.
Then Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss did like their finishers at the same time, surrounded by ladders, not onto a ladder. Alexa Bliss took the nastiest bump in this when she got just like hung out to dry over one of the ladders, and man, I felt that.
And I mean, both these ladder matches had one of those spots where you're like, oh, be careful.
Yeah.
So Alexa Bliss had the one for this match. I will admit it. I was wrong. You were right. Naomi won. She should have.
It's back.
It was the right thing to do.
Great.
I also like the idea because the announcer said it, the commentator said it at one point. I think Cole is actually the one who said it, which I try to ignore what Michael Cole says nowadays because he's so flip-floppy. But he was like, if Roxanne Perez wins, does she automatically get, like, do you have to give her a spot in Judgment Day? I was like,
no, you don't.
No.
You do whatever you want.
I do what I want.
100%. Judgment Day doesn't follow any rules. That's their whole thing.
We'll see. Aside from obviously Naomi winning, who do you think was the all-star of this match, sir?
It might have been Roxanne Perez. I think she had a fantastic showing out there. She had a
really good showing, especially when she's hanging out on the ropes and Rhea comes up from the ladders. And like just the faces she was making, I was like, yep, that's great.
I also liked the Roxanne Perez Julia dynamic throughout it, working together to that eventual turn. Like you knew it was coming. I know it was a little bit telegraphed because that's how these matches go, but I also didn't take away from the fact that I enjoyed it and I liked the way it worked out for them. So it really gave them a moment to shine. I really did like in the beginning when it was the older veterans versus the rookies. I thought that was a nice little moment in time, even though after everybody clashed, they went to the outside and just laid down for a little bit, took a little nap.
They were sleepy, bro.
Yeah, I guess so. I absolutely love the way Naomi won. The having Rhea and Alexa going to the top at that moment in time, thinking that like whoever gets knocked off first is gonna be let the winner win, and then Naomi at a left field drops them both onto another ladder, picks it back up, and that ladder looked like it was on shaky ground when she was going up there. Like I thought it was gonna buckle on her in the worst way possible. Luckily enough, it didn't. But like when she was going up there, you knew it. It's like, oh, this is it. Naomi's got this briefcase, and I think she's gonna make the best of it. I think out of everyone in this match, she is going to be the one that has the best storyline with it. Everybody else sure could probably have a good storyline. Naomi is currently built to be the Money in the Bank champion right now.
I agree
Money
with
in the
that.
Bank winner.
I think she's going to do a lot with it. I think we're going to see, I mean, obviously stuff with her and Bianca coming out of this. Do you foresee her cashing in and winning?
Yes, I do.
And who do you think it's on? That's a bigger question.
I think it's going to be on Tiffany.
You think it's going to be on Tiffany?
Yeah. She's going to cash in and win, and then that title kind of match is going to shift to Bianca and Naomi.
That makes sense. And I feel like they haven't been doing all that much with Tiffany since Mania.
They don't know what to do with all these title belts.
Makes sense.
You can only have one world champion. There's only one world. Men's and women's. I'll give you two. But like that's exactly what happened with Priest and with him in that championship, while you had Cody with the other one. Now you have Cena doing almost like a Cena thing, and it's just getting this championship to be a little bit more appreciated. But even still, you had Priest, Gunther, Jay, Gunther. At this moment in time, since Mania, that's 4 champions.
Yeah.
In a title that shouldn't bounce around as much. I get what they're doing. I do understand it. And you're going to have Rollins, I think, go for it, but I think there's a good chance that Rollins cashes in on Cena.
I kind of think so. We'll get more into that towards the end, but I think so as well. I think that's where we're going to be.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Sorry. Burying the lead here. But
it was that predictable. You guys knew. You knew. Don't fool yourself.
You know what wasn't predictable? Dominic Mysterio getting a match on this card.
But I'm going to give us credit for predicting it right, because there's zero chance that either of us
we would have picked Dominic.
I mean, come on. When was the last time we didn't pick Dominic? We're all in here for Dirty Dom. I was going to just grow my mustache and try to grow out the mullet. I'd have more of a skullet because there's not much going on up here. But,
full on Hogan look.
Yeah, go full Hogan.
Go full Hogan, possibly like Bobcat Goldthwait, like where he's bald up top. And
yeah, that's a skullet. So we had Rey Mysterio versus Octagon Jr. for the Intercontinental Championship.
You said right.
What I said.
You said right.
Man, oh man.
You were calling him by his
How could I?
deadbeat dad's name.
Well, the problem with it is I was trying to jump the gun here because Dominic challenged Octagon Jr. to this match because he was marking out to Rey Mysterio a little bit, and so Dom wanted to show him who the real best Mysterio is, and you know what? He got him.
He definitely got him. I really like this match. I will agree with you. It is nice seeing Dominic come into his own a bit and actually, I don't know, wrestle and not just run away. So I'm enjoying that.
This one was a short. This was a short match where Dom had a real fight. Honestly, and he stood his own. He really defended the title. Sure, Liv got a little involved, I guess, but not enough in my mind to say that she cost the match. I don't know. Can we spoil Raw at all? We're not going to review Raw this week.
No, we're not going to review Raw this week.
So can I spoil Raw? Here, I'm gonna spoil a little bit on Raw for you guys. So if you haven't watched it yet, stick your fingers in your ears. Skip forward like 10 seconds. They did the exact opposite, in my opinion, for Raw with Dominic, where they let Sammy take him down, and he looked a little bit weaker, in my opinion. He had a good match in that one, but I would have liked him to stay kind of strong rather than have Sammy beat him there. I actually would like to see him stay in the King of the Ring. But c'est la vie. But this match, okay, it's spoiler free. I'll wave it off. All right, spoiler free from Raw now. But I was really pumped that Dominic got it. Yeah, we'll see. Dominic Mysterio, I really like how he went over pretty strong here. And I want to see more of that. I want to see him continue to like figure out like, oh, this is how wrestling works. If I actually fight people, I could win this way. And not that I want to see him get too good where it makes us want to go a face turn for him, because he's got to do that like 6 times before it to fit, considering how many times he's gone heel on himself.
He's
But
just going to keep going more heel.
He's just too good at it. Like all the interviews, just if you just want to marvel in what it means to be a heel these days, watch every single Dominic Mysterio interview. He will just throw shade at every human being possible.
Everybody.
Take every cheap shot, and it's hysterical.
He threw shade at other heels. Like when he was on Logan Paul's podcast, he was like, so you're going to wear the hat again?
You're going to wear the hat? Have you ever been to Japan?
Are you allowed back in Japan?
He knew exactly
what he was doing there. Which good for him. Good for him.
It's what puts it over. Like that's the thing. And like even I know some people were annoyed that he went back for like the curtain call for WrestleMania, but that's very heelish too. Let them cheer for me. Go ahead, cheer. Now you're on my side, suckers. That's I personally think that was the main heel turn of the fans, is when they cheered him for that win. That was the pivotal turn.
I agree. I mean, he's doing great work. What else do we say about him? He's doing such good stuff right now that, and like I said, I really like this match. Obviously, it was booked during the Worlds Collide event, and Octagon had to have a match. Again, he's another one that had a match after a match.
He did.
But
is this where we are supposed to call out the phenom that is Mr. Iguana?
Oh, Mr. Iguana. So I like Mr. Iguana. I like how much character work he actually puts into being an iguana. I don't know how much of Worlds Collide you actually watched, if any. Yeah, I assume
zero.
Zero. Not like zero miro, like just zero.
0 minutes.
He does so much stuff to be an actual iguana. It's amazing. Like he'll sit there and like start sticking his tongue out. Like and then he took a bump, and when he took the bump, he had all 4, like he had both his arms and both his legs up like an iguana sitting there lying, like playing dead.
I had heard that one of the things that inspired him to take on this gimmick was the way iguanas jump from the trees and stuff. They look like they're just doing a flying plancha. And so that's what he does now. Like, so he's like, they're nature's wrestlers.
That kind of makes sense. And they say it during Worlds Collide. So the town he's from in Mexico is where Julio Cesar Chavez is from. And apparently it's also like the highest amount of, like, it's like the world's capital of iguanas.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's all kind of cool. It was also cool during Worlds Collide to have Conan on there.
Very cool. I know nothing about it except for Mr. Iguana.
Except for Mr. Iguana, who apparently is going to get pushed to the moon. I'm hoping he doesn't get pushed that far, because as of right now, Mr. Iguana is an entertainment entity, the likes of which are like Orange Cassidy to me. He's very fun to watch. He's entertaining. He's a good wrestler. He still walks around with a stuffed iguana that he uses like Mr. Sacco or the Cobra. And I'm not totally sure if I want him to be pushed to a world title.
World champion. He's going to be the one to dethrone Cena.
Perfect.
You heard it here first, folks. And I really hope last.
Yeah, let us never speak of this again.
I think it's great. I think he's a perfect personality to get attention to AAA from the American fans to like kind of draw in for the sideshow and then like stay for the wrestling. I think that'll go a long way with that. Everyone's fallen in love with him. It cracks me up. I love when shit like this happens, and this one's just him being him, and I really can't fault him for it. This is so. Just had to bring it up sometime through this thing, so we'll move on to the next match.
Plus, you're always a fan of guys wearing green.
I do like guys wearing green, and I have said on this before. I used to do a lot of the E-Fed wrestling once upon a time when we were in high school and all that. And I had a character named Chameleon who's like spot on. It's almost the exact same thing. Mexican luchador. It's like he stole my gimmick.
Showtime's actually being modest. While he was doing e-wrestling, his character actually wrestled Tony Khan's character. We don't know that. We don't know that for sure. There's a good possibility.
I mean, there's a chance.
It was grim.
No, it wasn't.
It was not.
No, I know who he is. I can't say I know every opponent I ever wrestled, but I know who he is. The next match we had was for the last chance at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. We had Becky Lynch going up against the champion, Lyra Valkyria. What'd you think, Steven?
So, I overall liked the match. I thought it was good. I thought there was at least a scotch less choreography going on.
I didn't notice much of it at all. There's a couple of things here and there.
This was a lot. This was a lot smoother than what they normally do. I like the stipulations on this. I like the Becky has to win or she doesn't get another chance at the IC title as long as Lyra has it. If Becky wins, Lyra has to put the belt on her and raise her hand. I like all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I'm going to double down on what I've said though. I don't see Lyra getting over anytime soon. I don't see it. It didn't happen that night when she hit the move or when she hit her finish on Becky at the end after she had to raise her hand. It like no one did anything. No one cared. In fact, I think there might have been some booze sprinkled in there. Becky, on the other hand, is starting to tread into. I make the joke all the time that it's Hollywood Lynch. She's starting to tread into the Cena waters. If you heard the chants, it was "Let's go, Becky. Becky sucks."
Mm-hmm.
So she's starting to tread into like those type of waters. I don't know. Something about Lyra just doesn't do it for me. I don't know. I think she's athletic. I think she has the ability to put on a good match. But the bird wings, the fact that there's nothing that makes her break the character of like the bird wings and stuff like that. I don't know. It's I think that's what turns me off to it sometimes is like you're supposed to really be mad at this woman and like you're not just racing down to the ring to try to fight her.
That always gets me. I do think, first of all, I think this was the match of the night. And kind of by far. I know the other stipulation matches were tough, but this one I thought was a very solid match. I think they both got over all right. I see where you're coming from, Steven. I hate when this happens, and it happens often. Cody does the same thing later in the night, where it's like you're supposed to be really upset right now, and let's meander. Let's take it all in. No, you're in a blood feud kind of situation right now.
Yeah,
you should act like you're in a blood feud situation right now. So I hear you. I think Lyra could get over. I think that she's just grossly overshadowed by Becky right now. This is Becky's return. I think that everyone's just waiting for Becky Bailey. And this feud kind of run its course, got a little lukewarm. I loved the end of this match when with Becky like constantly bringing her, oh, make sure you raise my hand. Oh, I wanted it on all four sides of the ring. Oh, now you got to put the belt on me. That was great. Very swarmy heel. And Lyra hitting her with the German Nightwing, whatever. I expected it to go over bigger than it did.
And it did not. Like that was my point is like she like even when she was walking out of the ring with her arms out, like I'm like no one cares.
if it was reversed, the crowd would have been chanting one more time.
Yeah. Which maybe that's what needs to happen is Lyra needs to go heel, which I could see it happening moving forward with the way that other events happen since this show. We're already doing spoilers. Bayley came back and attacked Becky, and Lyra looked really surprised. So I could see Lyra being like, "Wait, you're stealing my shot now," and turning heel because of that. And I could see that version of it getting over. In which case, if that's where we go, I could totally see her not breaking character then and just walking down to the ring with the bird wings and stuff like that and meandering and stuff. That would totally work because you're a heel.
Maybe it's time to turn her.
I totally think it's time to turn her.
So moving on to we haven't really said much. I had Naomi. We both took Dominic because of course we did. We both had Becky to win this match. So right now I'm up by 1, Steven. Do I end up by 1?
Who knows?
Maybe
unless you watch the old episode, unless you watch the preview episode.
You and I talked about it over the weekend about changing our picks for the next match, and neither of us did because we have integrity. But in the men's Money in the Bank match, we had Solo versus LA Knight. Yeah. Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and El Grande Americano.
The gloat.
And again, this match was okay. It was fine. There was very little build-up. I think there was only 2 people who could realistically win this match, and it was Solo, who we both chose, and it was Seth Rollins. I wanted to see El Grande potentially win this too, because that could have been a cool gimmick that he could have brought this down to AAA and all that good stuff. I really didn't have much faith in LA Knight, Penta, or Andrade. And man, do I feel bad for Andrade. Absolutely no build for this man. Giving everyone the idea that he'd have absolutely no chance to win this match. And then take like 11 of the sickest bumps I've ever seen in my entire life. Including that Mexican Destroyer that bent the ladder.
The only one that I was a little bit more worried about was El Grande Americano. He took that one bump off the ladder, and if he was a quarter inch a little bit further the other way, he would have broken his neck.
He sold the spear like a champion, though. Like he did it like a cartoon character where like they go on their head and they fall over, and like they're just like straight.
I just feel like this match, it's the same thing that we said in the preview. There's no one that's involved in this match that I feel like is a viable threat to end John Cena's 17th title run. And I don't mean that they can't out-wrestle him. I mean that there was no one involved in this that seems like the guy that should end this 17th title run.
I could see Rollins.
Other than Rollins. Rollins is the only guy. I don't care how much you tease LA Knight in LA. They weren't going to put him over on it. They do it all the time. They left him completely out of Money in the Bank the one year that he should have been in it.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that Solo, I agree with you. I think Solo, like we said originally, would have been interesting. But I mean, Andrade, Penta, El Grande, LA Knight, realistically, none of them were kind of viable options other than Rollins. And we said we didn't want to pick Rollins because it's boring. He's a boring option.
We talked ourselves into Solo Sikoa. I almost took El Grande too, I won't lie. But Solo, I still don't think Solo made all that much sense for that to be where Jacob turned on him. Like, you could have done that anywhere else. It didn't need to be in Money in the Bank. It didn't bring much to the match itself. I think that Solo winning Money in the Bank did a tremendous amount for him, and I think he would have done better than what Rollins, who doesn't need it. He could have done everything the same.
Exactly.
But like afterwards, just without the briefcase. So it just, I don't know. It just kind of feels a little bit wasted. Like this match
It feels
last year
flat.
was substantially better.
Yeah, it felt flat. The ending felt flat to this, and Rollins winning just, I don't know. It's I have a theory of how this is gonna go. We'll save it for after, I guess, what would be considered the main event.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. This is just I think Rollins. I think there is a good chance that Rollins takes it from Cena, or ends Cena's run, but it's going to be in such a silly roundabout way.
Yeah, sounds about right. I'm just like running through the names in my head here where this could have been better. And there's just so many other wrestlers that could have elevated this match to the next level. I know some of them are hurt. Like, I'm sure that Drew and Priest probably should have been in this match. I mean, Finn would have been a great addition to this match. There's just a lot of people who I think would have just a little bit better chance of winning. Sammy should have been in this match.
I agree.
Like, there's just other people. Like if you just took out one of these guys and put Sammy in there with Seth, it changes the entire dynamic of this.
Exactly.
And like Sammy didn't even show up in it. He was like, you can't let Seth win. You can't have Seth win. You had 6 people come in, and he wasn't one of them. 4 people come in.
4 people.
Whatever.
By the way, how about the visual of Jacob hitting Bronson Reed with the pop-up Samoan?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because I know you love that.
I love a big man popping up. Another one. Excuse me, my
and Bronson Reed, I gotta give it to him, man. He took that time off for injury, and he looks good. He looks real good.
He does look good.
Like he looks. I don't want to say like ripped or cut, but he looks trimmer than when he left. Like I think his time on the Indies before coming back, he had put on a little bit, and he looked a little bit more trimmed up, like he's gonna be able to move. And I'm sure if after beating up your ankles the way he did and breaking, was it both ankles?
Yep.
So he broke both ankles. I'm sure he kind of had to drop some weight to make sure those joints are handling them.
Yeah, and when you're sitting around all day and you can't really do much, you can lose a lot of weight in that way. Where you're not lifting, you're trying to eat a little bit better because you don't want to just bulk up. It's an easy way to drop 30 pounds sometimes. I urge everyone to go back and watch El Grande Americano take that spear from Braun Breaker. He jumps from like it was like a half core shot. He jumps from like halfway down the ramp and just absolutely levels Grande Americano, and he was down. EGA, can we say
EGA? Large coffee. The gloat. What? I'm mad about Michael Cole still accusing that of being Chad Gable.
I mean, Chad Gable wrestled twice earlier in the day. He couldn't possibly be here.
There's no way.
Oh, come on now. That's ridiculous. Who wrestles 3 matches in 2 days?
Oh.
We didn't talk about that earlier today. That wasn't... What? Is this thing on? Hello? Going to the main event. We have
main event.
Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, and the World Heavyweight Champion? Is that the one
World
that
Heavyweight Champion?
Jey Uso versus John Cena and Logan Paul. This was a match.
Here's my problem with Logan Paul. It has nothing to do with him as a human, because that's not what I'm basing this on.
Check the preview show for his opinion of that.
Yeah, well, exactly. him as a wrestler, him as an in-ring performer, he works so infrequently that now it's a matter of the people that he works with, and when he does work, the holes in his game are glaring to me. And maybe they're not to other people, but they are to me because I spent so much time in this business that, like, I see what he's missing. And it takes it away a little bit. Cena, I don't expect. I'm at the point now where I don't expect good matches from Cena. I just don't. I've had 3 months of bad matches, 3 or 4 months of bad matches from Cena at this point that I don't expect much more from him at this point. He's not going to all of a sudden surprise me by putting on a clinic. And realistically, I like Cody. Jay's in-ring work is usually a B+ at best anyway, so this was not these are not necessarily the guys to hide Logan's flaws.
Yeah, and AJ couldn't do it at Mania, so that means I don't think many people can at this point in time. He's great in a 3-way match.
Yeah.
This match was an utter beatdown of Jey Uso for the majority of the front of the match. And the hot tag was a little weak, if you ask me, because the hot tag happened because Cena and Paul were arguing with each other rather than just getting a good hot tag. And then it turned into a finisher fest like all of the new Cena matches do at the end. But, Steven, I have one question for you. What's up?
What's up?
We had a hooded figure, all in black, come to the ring, level Cena with the title, and reveal that it was all work, or a shoot, or work shoot, or something. Because we got Ron Killings. R-Truth has been released, or not re-signed. But Ron Killings is back, and I am here for it.
I was super excited for this point, and it took everything in me to not just text you at that exact moment, like, did you see? Are you watching? You should be watching this.
I wasn't watching live. I never am.
I know. That's why I didn't message you, because I was like, he's not going to be watching it live anyway. So, but this was huge. R-Truth, Ron the Truth Killings coming back is amazing. Obviously this is what allowed us to be right about the baby faces going over with Cody and Jay. Yeet. And leads into Monday night, Mr. Killings giving an awesome promo. And we
put some respect on that name, Steven.
That's right. That's why I said Mr. Sir. And that's why, and then we lead into Cena versus Punk apparently happening at Night of Champions. Now, this is where I'm going to say is the roundabout for Rollins. I think Rollins does the stealing again and does it on Punk. And that gets the title off of Cena. And this gives us enough time finally where the end of this whole Cena run, he might be able to go babyface.
Maybe.
I don't know if he does. I don't know if he cares.
I don't know. I want to see a good match out of Cena versus Ron Killings before this is all over. And I've been saying it for a long time. I want to see Truth with the title. He's been such a great worker. I think he deserves it. He has the pedigree from the past, from his TNA days of being champion.
I mean, he's a 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Yeah, he also has more title victories than any human being ever will again.
Facts.
Facts. He's decorated, son.
How many of them were
The
24/7 championships?
most of them, but he was the 24/7 champion. Like we talk an awful lot about, does the wrestler make the title or does the title make the wrestler? And it's always important for the wrestler to make the title, and he made that title.
Oh, he definitely did.
Just gotta keep the standards up, man. Keep them up. So I would like to see him be the one that saves wrestling. I know that they want it to be Cody, and it's just, there's such a good narrative around how Cody can't beat R-Truth, or Stardust can't beat R-Truth, and I really want to see like Cody like lose, and then Truth comes out and does the thing.
Or maybe it's that Stardust can't beat R-Truth and Cody can't beat Ron Killings.
So it's practically the same thing, not quite, but I'm super pumped that they came back with it. This was the thing. I know a lot of the talking heads similar to us are all talking about how Triple H said that it was all part of the plan. This was all work. I don't think anyone believes that it was a work. I don't believe it was a work. But I also don't believe Triple H said that. Paul said, "Did you enjoy it? It's all part of the show." Those were his exact words. And I watched it over and over again to just make sure that I didn't miss something in there.
Well, and
it has been.
I think Truth is the one that confirmed that he ignored calls from the WWE.
Yeah.
Until Nick Khan called him personally.
Everyone out there is two things that wrestling's supposed to do. The goal of wrestling is to make money. That's the golden rule. It's always about that. Nothing. Don't fool yourself. That's number one by a long shot. Number two, a long number two below that, is entertain the fans. And the only reason entertain the fans is because see number one.
Yeah.
And so when you get a loud outcry from the fans and they tell you exactly what they want, they get it. Because they're going to buy that t-shirt now. And lots of them.
I might buy a Ron Killings t-shirt.
Why not?
He's got like 3 of them out now.
I want like a Jekyll and Hyde one where it's like half truth, half Killings.
Yes. What's up?
So I just think everyone's been a little hard on Mr. Levesque. He said, he didn't say anything. He said an ambiguous statement to be condescending to a certain degree, but he told the truth. Are you enjoying it? It's all part of the show. It is all part of the show.
It is all part of the show. It's always part of the show.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand where in that did he say the words, "This was all work, you silly, silly marks."
I mean, everyone's too smart for their own good sometimes.
I guess so. And I know he hates all of us. I get it. That's fine. He always has. This isn't a new thing.
Not at all.
But I think you give credit where credit's due. They made a mistake.
And they
fixed the mistake. And now we can move on and we can get another year or so of Mr. Killings being a bad man. I want him to be a bad man. A little bit of funny here, and then a little bit of bad man. And that is Money in the Bank 2025.
That
you have
is
any
it.
Closing comments, Steven?
I mean, they made money on it, right? Like that. I don't know if they took that money to the bank.
I would assume that it's already in the bank.
In the bank. So the money is in the bank in 2025. It was okay. I'm trying to think. Backlash was the last thing before this. I don't know if I like. I actually, yeah, I think I liked Backlash a little bit more than Money in the Bank.
They were the same.
I think they're about the same level. I think
I
think it's the difference between like a B and a B minus at that point.
Yeah. We get a bunch of mid PLEs. They'll do something good. Night of Champions will probably be good. I'm really excited for Evolution. I think that's going to be really, really good. And we'll see. And then SummerSlam. SummerSlam always delivers.
2-night SummerSlam.
Two.
2-night.
Two. Utah. Give me 2.
Give me 2.
Thank you all for listening. We really appreciate the support. Like and subscribe. Share it along, please. Tell a friend. If you don't have a friend, tell a stranger. And always, Steven.
As always, guys, remember, tuck your chin when you bump.